Stop treating the egg like a villain. For decades, you have been fed a lie. You were told that eating eggs would clog your arteries, spike your cholesterol, and send you to an early grave. That narrative is dead. If you still have even a shadow of fear about cholesterol, take that thought and delete it from your mind right now. Eggs have never created a cholesterol problem. That was propaganda, not science. Today, we are going to talk about why you need to consume 3 to 4 eggs every single day to optimize your biology. Let's look at why the egg is superior to every other form of protein. When you eat a steak or a piece of fish, you are eating muscle. Muscle is designed for contraction, relaxation, and movement. That is its only job. But an egg is different. An egg is potential life. It contains everything needed to build a living organism from scratch. This gives it a biological advantage that muscle meat simply cannot match. We call this biological value. In simple terms, this measures how much of the protein actually gets absorbed into your tissues versus how much is wasted. The egg sits at the very top of this hierarchy. It is the gold standard of absorption. Why do we eat protein? You probably think it is just to build biceps or repair a torn ligament. Yes, it builds structure. But protein is also the workforce of your body. It builds hormones. It builds enzymes that allow your internal chemistry to function. But here is the secret that most people miss. Protein is also a fuel source. Imagine your body is a furnace. You need to throw things into it to keep the fire burning. Let's compare meat versus eggs as fuel. When you eat a chicken breast or a piece of lean beef, you are eating muscle tissue. Your body can only convert about 10 to 20% of that protein into usable fuel. The rest is structural. It is inefficient as an energy source. Now, look at the egg. The egg has the yolk. The yolk is pure, energy-dense fat. When you look at the entire egg profile, 65% of that egg can be used as fuel for your body. This is a massive difference. This is why you cannot survive on lean meat alone. There is a phenomenon known as rabbit starvation. Explorers who tried to live entirely on lean rabbit meat got sick. Some of them died. Why? Because you cannot run the human machine on 100% protein without fat. You overload the system. The egg solves this problem perfectly. It is the perfect ratio of structure and fuel. You could literally live on eggs for the rest of your life and be healthier than most of the population. But the egg is not just food. It is a fortress. This is something muscle meat does not have. The egg is designed to protect the life inside it. So it comes equipped with a biological defense system. Inside the egg white, there are antimicrobial proteins. These are compounds designed to hunt down and destroy bacteria. The egg also has a unique mechanism to starve pathogens. It contains compounds that lock up iron and vitamin B7, also known as biotin. You might have heard a rumor that eating raw eggs causes a biotin deficiency. Let's clear this up. This happens because a protein in the raw egg white binds to biotin to prevent bacteria from using it. It is a defense mechanism. If you are a bodybuilder drinking gallons of raw egg whites, yes, you might have an issue. But the moment you cook that egg white, even a little bit, that bond breaks. The biotin is released and you are safe. So, unless you are drinking raw shakes every day, do not worry about it. The egg is simply doing its job, locking down resources to keep bad bacteria from growing. Beyond protection, the egg provides the raw materials for your own construction. It contains every single essential amino acid. It is loaded with leucine, which is the trigger for muscle growth. But the real magic is in the nutrients you rarely hear about. Let's talk about choline. Choline is a B vitamin that acts like a manager for your liver. It prevents fat from accumulating in the liver, stopping fatty liver disease before it starts. It is also the building block for bile, which you need to digest fats properly. But it goes deeper. Choline is essential for DNA repair. There is a process in your body called methylation. Think of methylation as the maintenance crew that repairs your DNA helps you detoxify poisons, and builds neurotransmitters so your brain can work. Many people have a genetic glitch that makes this maintenance crew slow and inefficient. If you are one of those people, you need more raw materials to keep the system running. You need more choline. You need more B12. You need more folate. Guess what? The egg is packed with all three. If you have a hard time absorbing these nutrients due to your genetics, the egg is the ultimate biohack to bypass that problem and keep your DNA healthy. Let's move up from the liver to the eyes. Most people think of their eyes as separate cameras, but they are actually an extension of your brain. If you could unzip an eyeball and look at the back, you would see the retina. This is neural tissue. It pushes information directly into your skull, but these delicate sensors are under constant attack. Every day, you are bombarded by ultraviolet light and blue light. This light acts like a laser, slowly burning out the sensors in the back of your eye. You need a shield. This is where the egg delivers again. Eggs are loaded with powerful antioxidants called lutein and zeaxanthin. Think of these compounds as internal sunglasses for your cells. They concentrate in the retina and absorb that damaging blue light before it can destroy your vision. They protect you from macular degeneration. They help you see in dim light. But because the retina is part of the brain, these nutrients don't just stay in the eye. They travel upstream. They support concentration, memory, and learning. When you eat eggs, you are feeding the hardware of your mind. And the brain upgrades don't stop there. An egg contains phospholipids. That sounds like a complex chemistry term, but think of it as insulation for your electrical wires. Your brain is a web of electrical signals zipping back and forth. Phospholipids help build the membranes around your brain cells, ensuring that the signal stays strong and fast. If you want sharp cognitive function, you need these fats. Now, let's talk about pressure. High blood pressure is a silent killer. Doctors prescribe drugs called ACE inhibitors to relax your blood vessels and lower that pressure. But nature, in its wisdom, put a compound inside the egg that mimics an ACE inhibitor. It helps your blood vessels relax naturally. It takes the stress off the system. Then there is the issue of calcium. We are told to drink milk for strong bones. But calcium is tricky. If calcium ends up in the wrong place, it acts like cement. You do not want cement in your arteries, your joints, or your kidneys. That is how you get stiff. That is how you get kidney stones. And that is how you get plaque in your heart. You need a traffic cop to tell the calcium where to go. That traffic cop is vitamin K2. Eggs are a source of vitamin K2. This vitamin acts like a guide. It grabs the calcium from your bloodstream and soft tissues and pushes it into the bone and teeth where it belongs. It cleans your pipes and strengthens your frame at the same time. Without K2, taking calcium supplements is risky. With K2, you are building a fortress. The egg also delivers the active form of vitamin A, called retinol. Do not confuse this with the stuff you get in carrots. That is beta-carotene, a precursor. Your body has to work hard to convert that into something it can use. Retinol is ready to go. It is the active weapon. It protects not just your eyes, but your skin. And I'm not just talking about the skin on your face. I'm talking about the internal skin, the lining of your sinuses, your lungs, your digestive tract. This barrier is your first line of defense against viruses and bacteria. Vitamin A strengthens that wall. Add vitamin D to the mix, which is also found in eggs, and you have a complete immune support system in a shell. Now that you understand the power of the egg, we have to address the quality. Not all eggs are created equal. You walk into the grocery store and you see a wall of cartons. It is confusing. Let me simplify it for you. Avoid the standard, conventional eggs if you can. These are from chickens that live in misery. 65% of eggs come from caged hens. These animals spend their entire lives in a space the size of a sheet of paper. They are stressed, and that stress hormones end up in the egg. They are fed a diet of genetically modified corn and soy. This spikes the omega-6 fatty acids in the egg. Omega-6 is inflammatory. So when you eat that cheap egg, you are eating inflammation. You are eating the stress of that animal. You will see cage-free on the label. Do not be fooled. This just means they aren't in a tiny box, but they are still crammed into a giant warehouse with thousands of other birds, walking in their own waste. It is a marketing trick. It is slightly better, but not good enough. What you want is pasture raised. This is the gold standard. These chickens actually go outside. They get sunlight. They eat bugs, worms, and grass. This is crucial because a chicken is not a vegetarian. A chicken is a predator. It is designed to hunt insects. When a chicken eats its natural diet, the nutritional profile of the egg changes. The yolk becomes a deep, rich orange, not that pale yellow you see in cheap eggs. That color comes from the carotenoids in the bugs and the grass. It is proof of nutrient density. If you can find a local farmer, that is even better. Ask them what they feed their birds. If you can get eggs from chickens that are not fed soy and corn, you are winning. Soy and corn are cheap fillers that make the chickens fat and the eggs inflammatory. I am currently running an experiment with my own flock, feeding them a grain that is high in omega-3 seconds instead of the inflammatory omega-6 seconds. The goal is to create the perfect super egg. But until you can raise your own chickens, look for pasture-raised organic. Organic ensures the feed was clean, no pesticides, no herbicides like glyphosate. We also need to talk about what you eat with your eggs. This is where alchemy happens. Food combining can unlock potential you didn't know existed. If you eat your eggs with an arugula salad, the fat in the egg yolk increases the absorption of the phytonutrients in the greens by 9 times. You get 9 times the benefit just by combining them. We mentioned arugula, but let's go further. This is about strategic chemistry. When I cook my eggs, I almost always add onions. This isn't just for flavor. It is a tactical decision. Onions are sulfur-rich. They act like a scrubber for your internal systems, enhancing your detoxification pathways. They help your liver flush out the trash that accumulates in your body. When you saute them in the fat from the eggs, you are releasing those compounds and making them easier to absorb. Then, there is the black pepper. You probably sprinkle it on out of habit, but you should be doing it with intent. Black pepper contains piperine. Think of piperine as a turbo button for nutrient absorption. When you add black pepper and sea salt to your eggs, you are unlocking the cell walls of the food you eat. You are increasing the absorption of the carotenoids, those powerful antioxidants we talked about earlier, by a significant margin. You are literally getting more value out of every bite just by adding a pinch of spice. Now, let's talk about the tomato. In the summer, when tomatoes are ripe and in season, I add them to my eggs every single day. The tomato is a powerhouse, but specifically because of one compound, lycopene. Lycopene is one of the most potent antioxidants known to man. It is vital for the health of your prostate. It is incredible for your eyes and brain. But its most critical job is inside your arteries. Imagine the inside of your arteries. Over time, they can get damaged, stiff, and inflamed. Lycopene acts like a rust-proofing agent for your blood vessels. It protects the endothelial lining. But here's the catch. Lycopene is fat-soluble. If you eat a raw tomato by itself, you absorb very little of it. It passes right through you. But when you eat that tomato with an egg, the fat from the yolk acts as a carrier vehicle. It grabs the lycopene and transports it through your intestinal wall and into your bloodstream. You are turning a simple vegetable into a medical-grade delivery system. I know what some of you are thinking. You are looking at the price of pasture-raised organic eggs, and you are looking at your bank account. I get it. Inflation is real. Food is expensive. If you cannot afford the high-end eggs, do not walk away. If your choice is between conventional cheap eggs and a box of sugary cereal or a bagel, buy the cheap eggs every single time. Even a conventional egg, raised in a cage, is still a nutritional miracle compared to the processed sludge that lines the center aisles of the grocery store. Even the worst egg is better than the best bread. Do not let perfection be the enemy of progress. Do what you can with the budget you have. Another weapon you should add to your plate is the avocado. This is the perfect partner for the egg. We have established that the egg is a fuel source, but the avocado adds a different kind of fuel. It is loaded with potassium and healthy, raw fatty acids. Most of the oils you find in the supermarket, corn oil, canola oil, soybean oil, are rancid. They are extracted using high heat and harsh chemicals. They are oxidized before you even open the bottle. But the fat inside an avocado is protected. It is raw, it is fresh, and it is untouched by industry. When you slice open an avocado and eat it with your eggs, you are flooding your body with clean, anti-inflammatory energy. Finally, we need to talk about the cooking process itself. You can take the highest quality egg in the world and ruin it in the pan. Do not overcook your eggs. I know some people are terrified of runny yolks, but you need to get over that fear. When you overcook the yolk, when it turns hard and chalky and gray, you are oxidizing the cholesterol. You are damaging the fragile nutrients inside. You want that yolk to be liquid, or at least soft. I prefer my eggs over easy or soft scrambled. You want to cook the whites until they are solid, but keep the yolk alive. That liquid gold is where the magic is. And what are you cooking them in? Do not use vegetable oil, do not use margarine, those are industrial lubricants, not food. Cook your eggs in butter. Real, grass-fed butter. Or use olive oil. But be careful with olive oil. If you heat it too high, it smokes and oxidizes. Keep the heat low. Treat the egg with respect. So, here is your mission. This is not a diet. This is a protocol. Start consuming 3 to 4 eggs every day. Use them as your multivitamin. Use them as your brain fuel. Use them to repair your DNA and protect your eyes. Pair them with onions, peppers, and greens to unlock their full potential. Stop fearing the cholesterol and start fearing the deficiency of essential nutrients that comes from avoiding them. The science is clear, and your body is waiting for the materials it needs to repair itself.